Are you looking for the best office chairs? In this video we will look at some of the 7 best chairs on the market. Before we get started with our video, we have included links in the description. So make sure you check those out to see which one is in your budget range. Starting at number 1. Steelcase Gesture. Steelcase's Gesture is comfortable, no matter how you're sitting. It's an attractive chair, too, with several colorful upholstery options. The seat form is cushy, and while some might find it thin, it feels plush coming from a Herman Embody. I like how you can extend the seat depth forward with a twist of a knob, super elegant, which is a good descriptor for the Gesture on the whole. The recline knob smartly offers a series of clicks to indicate the angles you can lock, and even adjusting the armrests, whether you want to move them up or down, left or right, or forward and back, is fluid without any jerky movements. The backrest aligns nicely with the back, and you can grab the tabs to adjust the lumbar support to hit the curve of your spine. All this makes for a comfortable sitting experience, even more so if you add the headrest upgrade. I typically don't care for the headrest, but I used it here more than any other chair. It sticks forward quite a bit, so I don't need to lean my head back as far to let it rest. Assembly was easy, too, as it was a matter of putting the seat pan on the legs because the backrest and seat were already pre-assembled. The only thing to note is that since this is an all-foam chair, you may run warm, especially in the summer, unless you can crank the AC to keep your home office cool. Another downside is that the Gesture's upholstery may not hold up well over time, at least not as long as a seat like the Herman Embody. I haven't seen this myself on my newer test model, but our original reviewer noted this, and this is also a complaint I've heard from a friend who has owned a Gesture for several years. At number 2. Branch Ergonomic Chair. The Branch Ergonomic Chair is a great place to start if you're on a tight budget. It's surprisingly easy to assemble in minutes, the instructions are great, and there are a handful of tweaks you can make to dial in the fit. You can push the armrest back and forward, up and down, the seat can extend or be pushed in, you can lock the recline. There's even adjustable lumbar support. The chair does all this while managing to look sleek, with several colors to choose from, plus a reasonable price. There's no headrest, but you can pay to add one. It doesn't keep my back as upright as I'd like, but the double-woven nylon mesh backrest feels nice to lean against. The seat is made of high-density foam, firm yet comfy, and doesn't trap heat as much as other foam seats I've tried. It's a great option for various body sizes. My 6 feet 4 inches self enjoyed sitting on it, as did my 5 feet 1 inch partner. Fair warning, though, pet hair tends to cling to the upholstery, and I've noticed the fabric on the front end of the seat tends to pill quickly. At number 3. Herman Aeron. The Herman Aeron has long been a recommendation in this guide, but that came from a few of my wired colleagues who swear by it. It's durable, supportive, and airy, not to mention the fact that this is an iconic office chair that graces workspaces all over the world. I decided it's finally time for me to give the goat its due and try it for myself. Initially, I found the Aeron a little too bouncy, the mesh is very firm, but after a few days, I didn't mind this as much. The levers on the Aeron are not where you'd expect. The seat height lever, for example, isn't all the way on the underside of the chair, but on the right edge of the seat. The arm height lever is at the very back of the arm frame. It feels a little like I'm operating a spaceship with all these knobs and levers. I highly recommend watching the adjustment tutorial after setting up the chair to maximize comfort. It comes in 3 sizes A, B, and C, with C being the largest. That's what I tested, with the adjustable posture fit SL, tilt limiter and seat angle, and fully adjustable arms. The posture fit SL is the lumbar support and is controlled via 2 knobs that push the support in or out, depending on your preferences. It worked well for me, but the problem is you can't adjust the posture fit SL vertically. If the positioning doesn't land on your back in the right spot, it could pose a problem. It may be safer to go with the adjustable lumbar support instead, or try it in a retail store if possible. The fully adjustable arms are convenient and don't move around much, and while I like having the option of a forward tilt for a more active sitting position, I preferred to keep it on a gentle recline to keep my body moving ever so slightly. I have been in the Aeron for close to a month now, more than 8 hours a day, and I find it supportive. It also regulates my body heat well, thanks to the mesh. The build quality is impeccable, and my only major gripe is that I don't think it's as attractive as chairs like the Anthros V2 or Herman Miller Embody. Oh, and it's eye-wateringly expensive. Before you buy a brand new Aeron, there's a very good chance you can find one for significantly less at a local furniture reseller, on eBay, or Facebook Marketplace. Or you can luck out like Wired reviewer Michael Calor, who walked away with a free Aeron after a startup in his town closed-up shop. Just make sure you buy the right size for your body type. Herman Miller has a size/fit reference guide here. At number 4. Herman Miller Embody. It might take you a week or two, maybe even a month, to get used to the Herman Miller Embody, but it's well worth your patience. This is what I fall back on after testing all other chairs, and it always feels like a breath of fresh air. Its upright positioning supports my back well and eases lingering back pain from years of sitting in a cheap gaming chair. The seat feels rigid at first, but eventually becomes surprisingly pillowy, and the armrests stay firmly in place. It does a nice job of whisking heat away from my body, though not as well as all mesh options. It's one of the most adjustable models around. You can pull out the seat, change the height and angle of the armrests, and tweak the back fit adjustment to follow your spine's natural curve. Did I mention it's pretty? I'd argue this is one of the most eye-catching designs around, especially with the rib-like pattern on the back. Not to mention the surprisingly small footprint. I know, it's incredibly spendy. I bought it for roughly $1,465 back in 2020, and the price has skyrocketed since. But what's amazing is that after more than 5 years in this chair, it feels just as good as new with barely any squeaks. Herman Miller offers a 12-year warranty that covers every part of the Embody, and the chair arrives completely assembled. Pick one of the medley upholstery choices with the graphite base finish to see the lowest price. Herman Miller has a gaming version of the Embody, and while it looks the same, there are some minor changes. It has a copper-infused foam layer that is designed to accommodate a more active sitting position, and it's designed to wick body heat away. I'll be testing it soon. At number 5. Staples Dexley Ergonomic Mesh Swivel Task Chair. If you have to sit at a desk for a living, I strongly urge you to save up and buy a nice, high-end chair. Buy once, cry once, right? But sometimes that's just not possible. If you need a chair now and have a tight budget, get the Staples Dexley 6/10. Wired review: the office supply company hasn't steered me wrong yet. The Dexley is the best budget chair, miles better than most cheap chairs on Amazon. Does it have flaws? Of course. But at its frequently discounted $170 price, you can't find much better. The all-mesh seat is great for airflow, keeping you cool, though the mesh itself is a little rough on the skin. It's decently adjustable, includes a headrest, and putting it all together took me about 15 minutes. I previously recommended the Staples Hyken here. The chair is still available and might be better suited for shorter people. One thing to note is that the seat may sink in a little over time, something that happened on the Hyken. I'd be surprised if the Dexley lasts a decade, but hey, it's less than $200. At number 6. Staples Essentials Ergonomic Fabric Swivel Task Chair. The Staples Essentials Task Chair is regularly under $80 on sale, making it the cheapest chair in this guide. It's not very adjustable, with a fixed back and static armrests, but it's relatively uncomplicated. The simple design makes assembly a breeze. The build quality and material thickness are what you'd expect at this price, but it's not bad. It can support a weight up to 275 pounds, and the mesh back feels solid but still flexible enough that you can move around a bit. The bottom cushion provides ample support when sitting. You can adjust the height and tilt tension and lock the tilt, but that's about it. If your budget is tight, this will do, but the lack of adjustability will severely limit this chair's practicality and comfort over prolonged use. If you can, save up for the Staples Dexley for a better budget seating experience. At number 7. Humanscale Freedom Headrest. When I leaned back in the Humanscale Freedom Headrest, which we wrote about more than 20 years ago, I felt bliss. Designed by the famed Niels Diffriant, this chair gracefully supports my back like a mother gently laying a baby in a crib. If you tend to recline, this is the chair for you. By design, there aren't as many adjustments you can make compared to other high-end chairs. The idea is that the chair will adapt to your body. For example, there's no way to lock the chair so it won't recline, but it never reclined when I didn't want it to. You can adjust the lumbar support, seat height, armrest height, and seat depth. I often had to readjust the headrest, as it tends to slide down, but otherwise, this chair pretty much lets you set it and forget it. It even comes fully assembled, and there's a 15-year warranty to boot. The armrests are just about the only part one don't like as much. It's easy to adjust them accidentally when you shift in the seat. After more than 4 years of sitting on it, I've only noticed some pilling at the seat edge of the fabric. If you don't care for the headrest, there's a version without it. Sustainability-wise, this is a net positive product, meaning the company does more good than bad by making one of these chairs. For instance, Humanscale has rainwater capture systems in its manufacturing sites and uses this for all final assembly. The product's environmental rating is certified by the International Living Future Institute, a non-profit organization, and it's a certified B Corp,